Hello all, welcome to the video on helical antennas. This video gives you an insight into some applications of helical antenna with geometry and different modes of operations and radiation patterns. Let's see a story on the origin of helical antennas. In 1946, a few months after joining the faculty at Ohio State University, John D. Cross, the author of the prescribed textbook, attended an afternoon lecture on traveling wave tubes by a famous scientist who was visiting that campus. In these tubes, an electron beam is fired down the inside of a long wire helix for amplification of waves traveling along the helix. The helix is only a small fraction of a wavelength in diameter and acts as a guiding structure. After the lecture, Cross asked the scientist whether a helix could be used as an antenna. The scientist replied, "No, I have tried it, and it doesn't work." The finality of his answer set Mr. Cross thinking. That evening, in the basement of his home, he wound a 7-turn helical coil of wire 1 wavelength in circumference and fed it via coaxial line and ground plane from a 12 cm oscillator as shown in the figure. He was thrilled to find that it produced a sharp beam of circularly polarized radiation off its open end. Next, he wound other helices with larger and smaller diameters, noting little change in behavior. Adding more turns, however, resulted in sharper beams. Actually, it took years of extensive measurements and calculations, and his first publication, entitled "The Helical Beam Antenna," appeared in the April 1947 issue of Electronics. The helical antennas immediately found wide applications. John D. Cross employed it in an array of 96 11-turn helices in a radio telescope. He designed and built with his students in 1951 as shown in the figure. Operating at frequencies of 200 to 300 MHz, the array measured 50 meters in length and had a gain of 35 dB. With it, they produced some of the first and most expensive maps of the radio sky. The helical antenna became the workhorse of space communications for telephone, television, and data, being employed both on satellites and at ground stations. Many US satellites, including its weather satellites, global position satellites as shown in the figure 8.5, Fleet Satcom geostationary relay satellite as shown in the figures 8.6, which provide global communications for the US government, etc. The helical antenna has been carried to the Moon and Mars as shown in the figure. It is also on many other probes of planets and comets, being used alone, in arrays, or as feeds for parabolic reflectors. Its circular polarization, high gain, and simplicity making it especially attractive for space applications. The helix is a basic 3-dimensional geometric form. A helical wire on a uniform cylinder becomes a straight wire when unwound by rolling the cylinder on a flat surface. Viewed end-on, a helix projects as a circle. Thus, a helix combines the geometric forms of a straight line, a circle, and a cylinder. In addition, a helix has handedness. It can be either left-handed or right-handed. The following symbols are used to describe a helix. The diameter d and circumference c refer to the imaginary cylinder whose surface passes through the center line of the helix conductor. If one turn of a circular helix is unrolled on a flat plane, the relation between the spacing s, circumference c, turn length l, and pitch angle alpha is as illustrated by the triangle as shown in the figure. Visualizing the geometry of the helix, when s equal to 0, it represents a current loop, and when d equal to 0, it represents a linear conductor. The modes of helix can be described in the following two ways: transmission mode and radiation mode. Transmission mode describes the manner in which the electromagnetic wave propagates along an infinite helix, as though the helix constitutes an infinite transmission line or waveguide. Whereas the radiation mode describes the general form of the far-field pattern of a finite helical antenna. Though there is a possibility of many radiation modes, but the following two modes have higher significance. Normal or omni mode of radiation is denoted by R0, in which the radiation beam is perpendicular to the helix axis. Axial or beam mode of radiation is denoted by R1, in which the radiation beam is parallel to the helix axis. Let's see the comparison between the two radiation modes. Field maximum is in the direction of helix axis in the case of axial mode, and field maximum is in the direction normal to the helix axis in the normal mode. Circularly polarized waves are being observed both in the case of axial mode as well as the normal mode. Helical circumference is of the order of 1 wavelength in the case of axial mode, and dimensions are very small when compared to the wavelength in the case of a normal mode. Radiation persists over a wide frequency range in the case of axial mode, whereas when we consider the bandwidth and efficiency, it's not readily applicable in practice in the case when I'm talking about normal mode. And this is how the three-dimensional normalized amplitude linear power patterns for normal and axial modes of helical antennas look like. With this, we have come to an end to this video on helical antennas. Thank you and have a happy learning.